Greetings, welcome, namaste to the Music for Global Change broadcast.
Music for Global Change. Creating music that inspires the world. Welcome to the Music for Global Change broadcast. And now here's your hosts, founder and music ambassador Skyler Jett with Deborah, Fennella and Tony Gough.
Now we're really excited and blessed to have waiting very patiently on the screens the amazing, talented, multi-Grammy Award winner Skyler Jett, and also the founder and music ambassador for Music for Global Change, and also going all the way across to Graceland in Tennessee, the amazing Liz Presley, who's a singer-songwriter and also a conscious music composer and author, including myself, Deborah, Fennella, and
Tony Gough. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you? You okay? You having a good day? How are you coping with this hot weather, Skyler?
Oh, over here?
Yes.
This reminds me of home.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm at home with this. Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's really lovely, isn't it? What's the weather like, Liz, down in Graceland?
Actual fact, I'm in Graceland East, which is in Kingsport, Tennessee. Graceland, main Graceland is in Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. So in Graceland East right now, here in Kingsport, Tennessee, it's really lovely. Thank you.
Oh, bless you. I'm glad the sun's shining down for you as well. Now, we're really excited to continue our topic, which is music for global change. And music can heal and save the world, can't it, Skyler?
All the time, every day, 24/7.
It certainly can, can't it? Now, first of all, Skyler, I'd like to ask you, basically with regards to Music for Global Change, what was your inspiration behind it in setting up the actual Music for Global Change?
Well, I first started out writing theme songs for foundations. And I was trying to bring awareness to help them keep their doors open, right? And it's pretty cool because it's not like a song you're going to put out on the radio. Hopefully you can. But, when you call and you can hear this song, or put you on hold, that'd be me. Yeah. But at the same time, when I knew I was moving over here, I wanted to open up the whole Music for Global Change audience. So I plan to have musicians from all over the world collaborate with each other. And we can do that now because we have the internet, right?
Yes.
And so that's the cool thing. But I also want, to have concerts with conscious music producers and writers, right? So this is a great forum that we have here to introduce some positive music that heals, educates, and solves problems.
Most definitely. And you're doing an amazing job, Skyler, in everything that you do. And Tony and I are really blessed to support you.
Indeed, yeah.
And also Liz being involved now with Music for Global Change. Liz? I don't know if you can hear me, bless her. Hi, Liz.
Yes, I'm actually very excited to be involved with Global Change with Skyler, and we've got some exciting things coming up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and we're really excited. Yeah. So with regards to music for global change, what does that mean to you, Liz, with regards to like conscious music? Because you're also very spiritual like Skyler and myself, and you get life to be of service and do amazing work too. So, what does that mean for you, conscious music, please?
It means a lot because when I did my shows in Chicago, and we basically took people who were less advantaged and we put them into music, and we actually helped them, have an opportunity have a platform for their music and also awards and things like that. It totally changed them. I mean, you were talking about people that were, out there doing, crazy things and have these stories and things like that that are amazing, challenging in their lives. And then when they came into the music and they started doing songs and started having a career, their lives completely changed and they completely changed in themselves. Mm-hmm. So when they came to the awards, they were telling their story of all the things that have happened in their life, and their life had changed on that stage, and they were obviously crying with tears and of joy of how different their life was now to have music in their lives. So music is very important throughout the whole world. And with all the different sorts of things we support in charities, you know, of cancer, or whether it's a homelessness, or whether it's a challenging lifestyle, you know, on the streets, and having to change your life, music in one way or the other makes a major, major influence.
That's right.
Do you find that when you introduce these people to music, they suddenly realise they've got a talent they never knew they had?
That's right. And a lot of them actually had never been in music, but they decided to go and give it a try and go to music. And they found out they had a talent. And some of the artists that at the awards, when they were receiving their awards, were amazing, incredible talent. It was the songs and everything was so beautiful. And many of them were very natural.
Yeah. I am so excited. My sister Deborah over there called me one day and she says, I'm going to introduce you to Liz, right? And she told me about your story and that you wanted to come on our show. And we're excited to have you here. And thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you. And I would like to thank Skyler. I'd like to thank Deborah, first of all, introducing me to Skyler with Kathy. And I'd like to also thank Skyler for bringing me into this project and for being part of the team.
Oh, we love you here. I mean, it's only going to grow, right? And,
yes,
and you and I have had a couple of Skypes now, and we have some excitement for everybody in the world to make this whole thing grow.
We do. It's very exciting. It could be very, very big for global change.
Yes.
For music level change. Yeah.
And I
so
think we are waking up the world with it, Skyler, aren't we? Like you say, music for global change. Definitely waking up the world.
Yes, and once we start doing these festivals, they're basically good news festivals, right? Because, you know, people are coming out to dance with each other and feed each other and, you know, hug each other, right? You probably won't really need the, you know, security because everybody's, right? It's positive. It's about positive music. People are tired of bad news. And so we're going to give them some good news.
It's funny you should say that, Skyler, because when I did my show in Chicago, I've had some, you know, shows where I've had to go into situations and things where there's been challenging, you know, because when I did the award show in Chicago, it was exactly what you're talking about. Here you have people that have changed their lives and gone from the streets of gangs and different types of homelessnesses and things like that, and major challenges, and got out of prison and stuff. And here you have them when I turn up being my bodyguards.
Yes. How about that? Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Life is a beautiful thing, you know?
Yes. And let me tell you something, to have these, you know, ex-gangsters as bodyguards, it's awesome because they are really tough.
Yeah. Exactly. But music,
they're great people. Yeah. When I was in the awards and then I was talking with them, they were, you know, they were just full of love and we hugged and everything. You know, that's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's only going to grow, you know?
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing. We're going to expand that kind of love and spread the love, right?
Absolutely. And it makes a major difference for somebody to pay attention to them and to give them opportunity and to show them something good.
Yeah, that's right.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Everyone's got the opportunity to change, and I'm a true believer, never judge a book by its cover. If you actually open the contents and read through it, you might actually learn something, and everyone has the opportunity to change. And I find that those that go for the harder path, you know, are more open to change and want to make the world a better place as well. And it's all about expanding your hearts and opening up your minds as well to bring in that positive change. And that's where the music comes in, because it's a vibration, it's energy. And with the ascension and what's happening planetary at the moment with the new world, the new earth, this is where music is making a massive, big, profound, transformational, healing, energetic shift.
Yes, because it's the #1 language in the world.
It is, isn't it? You know, and it's really exciting, and I just feel really humbled and really blessed to, you know, be with all of you in order to help spread the word. Let's heal this world.
The thing that impresses me most about our project that we're doing here is actually getting people to put down the electronics now and pick up a real instrument and let's start making music as it's supposed to be made, not electronically, not with voice synthesizers, not with auto-tuners, but your own raw voice. And you'd be surprised what you can bring out of yourself by doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Liz, what's on the agenda? How, like I know you're spreading love around the world with your, with all the projects you're doing, but what's next for you?
Well, we got some radio interviews, and of course I released my song and my book, which would hopefully help change the world with people listening to that song, which is very, bringing God into the equation, which is very important. God first in my life, and then of course my book, which will explain the life that I've led and lived in order to overcome challenges and things. Hopefully, this will help people for their thing. And I'm also doing some more shows and events, and of course we're working on my movie as well, Kid of the King, which is which is looking really good right now. And obviously this major project with yourself and I and others, to other major celebrities to coming aboard with this in order to make a global change for music in a really big way of what we're doing. But I guess I'll let you talk about that.
Well, I just believe the video is going to be amazing.
Yes, it's going to be incredible.
And the fact that you would have a hologram of your dad in the video. And so that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to achieve. Now, they say that the possible has been done, and the impossible is what we do. And that's what we're going to do with the hologram, because really my mum, I know that the holograms weren't quite there ready yet for Graceland. Right.
To put them out in Graceland. We know that. But just a clip for this song, singing with Dad, and also bringing a message from Dad to all the work and humanitarian things he has done in his life, to bringing that to the world as well.
Yeah, because he's a humanitarian too.
Yes.
He very much is so. Yes, he's donated, multi-millions of dollars one way or the other, or motivated multi-million dollars in donations. See, that's what we do. From Graceland, basically, we go to events and we do these events, and we either donate money ourselves for a foundation, or we create with our presence the money being created for the organizations and things like that. And that's what a lot of things. My dad donated a lot of his own money, and also created a lot of things from his TV appearances and his shows. One show I was watching, where he said we're trying to raise like, I don't know, it's like $1,500, and they raised like 15,000 at one show. Another one they raised 75,000. And on the Ed Sullivan Show, we do believe they inspired over $10 million in donations.
Wow.
So so these things are happening, and of course me being out there now, going to do the shows, going to do the events, going to do the speeches and things like that, is also creating in itself a lot of help for a lot of people worldwide, and we're very, very, very proud of that. So yeah, me singing with Dad for the very first time in a hologram, a little bit clip with a hologram in this video. Yeah, that's going to be fantastically awesome.
Music can save the world.
And also
music can save the world.
Liz, to actually be there with your dad in a hologram, watching over you, and he's saying, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. Well, another thing I did realize, which is going to be great for the fans to know. Even I get surprised too. I've only been home since 2013, and then of course I've had to, increase my brand awareness in order to be functional at Graceland, for the world, because that's very, very important. You can't just go out there and be unfunctional. You have to be functional at Graceland, so the fans understand what you're doing and they don't cause problems with that, So, I even myself on a daily basis, I'm surprised when Anthony put my photograph next to my dad's. If I had worn a different costume that day rather than jeans and stuff, just like my dad, I didn't even know. My dad had his part of the photo done in a long time ago. And then I had mine done just a couple of years or so ago. And the way we stood and the way we looked at the fans, and I know exactly what he was thinking, because I was thinking the same thing. We're analyzing the fans, knowing what we're going to be doing next in order to impress them, and really, really enjoying them as well. So the way we had our hands and the way we did, it wasn't made by Anthony. He just put two photos together, of me and my father on stage. And I'm so impressed how that is. So doing the hologram and then bringing that realness, what me and my father have together to the fans in the actual video, I believe is going to be a major influence to create global change, along with everything Skylar's doing, which is absolutely incredible too. So that incredibleness of what Skylar does, his talent is obviously incredibly amazing of the things he's done, and all the other people we're going to have in the video too. It's just going to be fantastic for help and assistance throughout the world. I do believe.
That's right.
And
That's
encourage others to get on board with music for global change, and also compose conscious music and write songs, again, to bring about positive change in the world, because, you know, peace is the answer, but love is the way forwards. And I think that's going to send that poignant message out to the world, just like your dad did, just like you're doing, just like Skylar's doing. And the world's ready now. I really feel the world's ready, the people are ready, and that they're ready to jump on board and support us.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
Well, the things that we can do with, charitables around music, and like what I want to do is like get around to all the Rotary clubs, and Harriet. Harry died a few years ago, and Harriet still has his saxophone in the closet, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's probably some single parent child that they can't afford an instrument for them. So imagine if we give Harry's saxophone to this little child, and his mom, now she can't afford the instrument, she can have it, because there's a lot of instruments laying around, from and with people that probably died and their family has the instrument, but it's just sitting there. Let's give it to somebody that dream about playing that instrument.
Be a donation, a blessed donation, won't it?
Yeah, and we're going to fix all this stuff. I work in Africa, and when I see people with no shoes on, that hurts my heart, right? Because I wait. Let me ask you something, Deborah. Wait a minute, hold on. How many pairs of shoes you got in your closet right now?
How many pairs of shoes? I must admit, I'm not one for shoes. I'm more for clothes, but I do give my clothes away. I do give my shoes away. I try and help the homeless wherever I can. My mum said I would give away my last penny to help somebody, and that's just me, because I dedicate my life to help those less fortunate. So if I can help, then I will in any shape or form necessary.
What I plan to do at the Music for Global Change concerts and festivals, if you bring a pair of shoes,
yes,
you get $10 off your ticket.
Okay, I'll bring some shoes for you.
We're gonna send those. We're gonna send those shoes to everybody that wants some. Now, I'm not saying everybody not want them, but it shouldn't be anybody walking around with shoes, especially when people got 5, 6, 7 pairs in their closet. They don't even use them.
Yeah, exactly.
No, exactly. But also, I know that they do like the bras, don't they, for the South African women, and donate your bras as well. And I've done that before, so has my daughter. And we have actually got like the recycle bins in where we live in Wimborne, and we will donate them there. So we can all play our part, and kindness is the way forwards, isn't it, Liz?
It is, yeah. And also, one thing my dad used to do, and I've done myself actually, before I even knew my dad did this, and other people can do this too, because this is good. And you can sometimes I just walk down the street, and I have walked down the street and I've seen somebody homeless. I just taken off my coat and gave it to them, and then gone home and put on another one, because I froze on the way home because it was freezing. Sometimes it's winter, but it's okay. You feel proud about that, So yeah, that with all the instruments and everything else, and all the other things we can do, all these ideas for level change, and with the video and everything, I think that's absolutely beautifully fantastic.
It certainly is.
Yeah, let's go. I ain't scared.
Well, we could donate instruments, to help those less fortunate, and put it under the umbrella of Music for Global Change. Let's help those less fortunate than ourselves with Music for Global Change.
Yeah. Gordon, may I ask you?
Yeah, it's actually, I was actually a little embarrassed. I was a little embarrassed before I came on the show, because I was getting ready, and I'd recently had this breakup, and so really devastated me. I looked at posted on Facebook recently some of the things that I've done in the past. I was in there getting change, and I'm thinking about myself being about this breakup thing. And then I said to myself, my goodness, I haven't been my 100%. I haven't been given 100% to people, like I did before when I first came home. I've been letting things get to me a little bit. So that second totally changed that. And I'm fully 100%. But hold on, and let's do everything we have to do to make the change of the world, because we are in a position to do that. And so I have no right to ever. My job is to impress Graceland. My job is to impress my mother, first of all. If you impress my mother, everything else will be fine, I believe. And then my job is to impress the Graceland, obviously, executives and things, that I can have my branding and do a good job and represent the world in Graceland correctly, for which I do. And but what I felt a little sad earlier about my past things that have happened to me recently, I felt ashamed of myself that I wasn't doing it even bigger than now, you know, so I'm going to get to work even harder now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Liz, never ever feel like that. Honestly, you're such a beautiful
Yeah.
soul and you're radiant light to this world. And I'm so proud of you. Skyler's proud of you. Tony is, and Tom and Anthony, and we all love you so much. And I know that your mum is proud of you and your sister in Graceland. So please never feel like that. Okay, you're amazing just the way you are. Always remember that. And your dad is very proud of you too.
But we're here to use that kind of energy to change the world, right, Skyler? And I really want to thank Skyler too for bringing me aboard on this, obviously, because Skyler has done so many things within his life and in such a position in that area, and he chose to bring me aboard. And I'm very, very thankful for that, Skyler. Thank you very much. And I'm going to work very hard to do a good job with you.
I love every one of you guys. Thank you so much, because this is it's been a 20-year dream for me, is to write lyrical content and help young people, inspire them to write lyrics that will heal us and educate us, right? And we need them now, because a lot of the lyrics are about, well, this has nothing to do with me. This has nothing. I don't write about myself or my love life, none of that stuff. Like, I write about how can we change something.
Yes.
It's not about the problem. It's about the solution, right? And I can ask any young person, if there's something in the world that you would change, what would that be? Yeah. And then I tell them to take that as the title for their song and go write about the feelings of, find a solution, how we can help each other. Anybody can complain. Where's the solution? My dear friend, Denise Newton and I had a radio show called Solutions Now Radio. And if somebody called in and started talking about a problem, we hung up. Just left them hanging. No, this is about how can we help each other, right? And
yes,
like I said, I already know music can save the world. We just got to get it out there.
Yes.
And have all these music. I want it to look enormous with music, with people singing music can save the world, right? Because it can. And I mean, in every nation. And we should have people from different nations in this video. It's not, music isn't for somebody, it's for everybody.
It is, most definitely. And everyone has a talent. Sometimes they don't even realise they've got it. They just got to tap into it, like you say, you know, and open their hearts. Now, we've got waiting very patiently, actually, to actually come live. Also, Christopher Hedge. He's actually on silent at the moment. So, Christopher, hopefully he will turn the camera on.
You there, Christopher?
Good afternoon, Christopher Hedge. Now, Christopher's an amazing conscious composer, multi-talented. As well. And we're so blessed for you to join us today. So thank you so much, because I know you're very, very busy with the amazing work that you also do to bring positive change to this world. So, thank you for joining us today, which is really exciting. Now, Christopher, I've been having many chats with my brother, Skyler Jett, bless him. Now, you two have worked on many, many projects. Now, one in particular that really was a massive big impact across the world, an amazing opportunity, was back in 2006, wasn't it, for the Olympics. And you both worked together and done a beautiful song. I've heard all of Skyler's songs. I love all of them. So please tell us a little bit about that, and also what the title of the song was, please.
Well, the title of the song was from Skyler, which was Pray for Peace. And what we did, we had an opportunity to play in a beautiful piazza at the Olympics, and then transform the piazza by projecting onto the buildings around us, doing these kinds of model projections that people were doing at the time, and especially in Europe. And then we assembled a band that was literally made of us on stage, but then all of these people around the world that would join us visually on those buildings as video. So we would arrive on stage early in the morning and create a show for that day. And part of our team were video artists. And to prepare for this, well, first we wanted to have music submitted live during the Olympics. So as things were happening and people were getting into that spirit, that they would be sending this particular kind of heightened energy and greetings to each other, as people tend to do around the Olympics. But to prepare for it, we had a number of artists into the studio, and of course Skyler, you know, he's going to be on anything that I try to do anytime, right? Because he's the greatest. And he came into the studio, and all we did was we set up backgrounds of music and then let people say what they wanted to say and express themselves. Whatever they wanted to add to our music was fine by us. And we had the technology to allow them to appear virtually and play on our stage with the live musicians in Torino. And Skyler goes into the booth and just pops out this song, just starts singing it, just made it up. I think, Skyler, that's the kind of thing that's just on your mind, right? let's pray for peace, let's pray for unity, you know, people all around the world, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very sweet messaging.
Yeah. But
so every night, Skyler would appear sky high on these massive buildings. We had spotlights. We could be seen from space, I'm sure. Yeah. And every night, Skyler would appear in this song singing those words. So that's one way of spreading a message.
Yeah. And what I love, man, so much is like you said, everybody just expressed themselves in their own way on this track. And then you brought in an orchestra at the end. Yeah. That blew me. I had never sang with orchestra. Oh boy, this is, it was way too much fun. But I love Chris so much because I did a session with him with a sister named Jeannie Tracy, and she's a big dance artist. And Chris was saying, man, you got to come back, man. We're at the end of the album, but I want you to sing on my album. And I wouldn't sing, and we just became brothers after that. I mean, it was just like, chemistry is so beautiful, right? But Chris is like, he's just amazing. He plays several instruments. He just has an open mind. I've learned so much from him. I love him, right?
Oh, bless him. Because you also play kalimba. I must admit, I've not heard of a kalimba before. I'm a budding guitarist myself, and I write songs as well. And you also play the piano as well, Chris, don't you?
Yeah. That's
yes. All the instruments to me are all boxes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
With wood on them. And when you play, it's a kind of a direct message from yourself right to the one person that's listening, and not everybody. It's not about you. It's about sharing a thing that's actually happening.
That's right.
So I'll treat all of the instruments, and I don't care where they come from or what they are, just as a vehicle for expressing yourself. One more thing that makes sound, but I think it's definitely much more from here that you approach anything, whether it's strings or your voice or kalimba or percussion or whatever it is. It's just a vehicle for.
It sounds a little bit like a harp, actually, as well, when you was just playing it then a little bit. I love the notes.
It is.
It's so beautiful. Yes.
Play a little more, Chris.
It's very simple. Here.
Back up a little bit. There you go.
That's better.
Yeah.
What country is it from?
Well, they're really all over the world. Our buddy, we have a great partner named Tito Sampa, who's he's the master, and we're all the students. And,
yes, he is.
And he's been playing this since he was a baby. Yeah. And so I think a lot of kalimbas, imbiras, kasanti, they call them, are from West Africa generally. But now these are ubiquitous. They're all over the world.
Before we go any further, Before we go any further, got to introduce you to Liz Presley and Tony Gough, because you didn't meet them yet.
We haven't met.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you. My pleasure.
You too. I have one of those, by the way, right in the living room right now. Yeah.
As I do a lot of documentary work, and I've convinced the directors that I work with to let me go in the field with them while I'm composing a soundtrack. And I carry one of these on my neck all the time. And I have for 30 years. And so when you're walking around in in Paraguay or someplace, and you're encountering people just as you're walking by, there's just a million smiles a minute, that happen. And it feels quite wonderful, because normally a film crew, especially like a PBS film crew, is sort of an invasion. So it's rather nice to actually walk into a situation and be giving something instead of just taking it.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that.
What I liked, Chris, in your Torino music piece that you did, you invited all nationals, and I'm a great lover, and I just like hearing pipes, that kind of Native American chants, South American songs, South American chants. And I like the way you introduced all different nationals into that piece of music. And as I said, I do love that Native American style as well.
There's so much that we have in common. One of the musicians was this, it's kind of like the national maestro in Bhutan. And he plays a little tiny flute. And we continued to work with him after that time. And we just last year, right before the pandemic began, we released an album with him and Keola Beamer, who's a wonderful slack key guitar player from Hawaii, and the Dalai Lama. And where the Dalai Lama is speaking just with us, just in a little interview, and then it's woven into the music so that his message is able to get out. But again, this is Hawaii, Bhutan, California, and it's quite the mix. But it doesn't seem to matter where you're from. It's more where your heart is at. So,
Liz, you traveled to Uganda, right?
I did not. The crew did. I actually have not set foot on the continent yet.
Liz,
my missing pieces.
Liz has done some music, some project in Uganda, isn't that right, Liz?
Yes. Yeah, we sponsor the Children's Center in Uganda. I just found out today, actually, because that was doing really well. But a lot of times you get busy in different things you're doing. You don't know how well it's doing. Mm-hmm. It's totally changed the lives of that Children's Center. The video that we did in the song In the Ghetto. I gave all the permissions and things and licenses for that, and it's totally changed the lives of that Children's Center, and we aim to do some more for them now as well. I just looked online just before, because I was going to post it on Facebook before we came here, but I found the one on their Facebook, and it has like thousands of views and incredible comments on the job that we all did on that video, and the singers, of course, were amazing, and so that was a very big thing for Uganda, for that Children's Center, bigger than I even know. So now I'm going to go back and take a look, because I can see the difference in the clothing and the things they're doing and the positiveness. And when I first met the gentleman that approached me, he looked sad. Now he looks very, very happy. So I'm going to go back and check on that and do some more help for them as well.
It's what
so yeah, you can look at the Courageous. You can look for the Courageous Children's Center online and just put in there, Courageous Children's Center, Graceland, or Courageous Children's Center, Liz Presley, or probably the best way to do it is put the Courageous Children's Center in the Ghetto. It will come up, and you listen to the video. It's absolutely stunning. I was so impressed with that.
Beautiful.
Amazing, Liz, and you do amazing work too. I can't wait to hear the song. You have to send me the link, Liz, to the song.
I will do. It's in the, in the Ghetto. It's one of my favorite songs too. In the Ghetto, I love that song. And you love different songs of my father for different reasons, and that one I love for the reasons of helping people get out of the ghetto and things. And it certainly has done a good job for Uganda. and definitely going to do some more of that with the Courageous Children's Center. I love the Courageous Children's Center. They're so positive, and everything that they do is amazing.
This morning, I introduced Liz to a dear friend of mine, Diane Latiker, and she's a CNN hero, right? And she saved a lot of lives in Chicago. But this morning, she goes, next month, will all you guys come on my show?
Yes,
I'm in.
Me too. Well, I told her we've done a lot of things in Chicago already for the homeless and for music, for people on the streets, getting off the streets. The Chicago's already have 3 big award shows and things there through the Posey Music Group, which I'm going to send to you and send to her, because they can take more artists who are willing to make a change for them as well. And that was very, 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 very good. And she's very happy to hear that. And I told her, I said, you know, I will come to Chicago to do this with you, because that's very important, because I think it's a very positive thing. And the good thing about having me there, I've actually been through a lot of things in my life, and to have you there, Skyler, too, is a major influence on the things that you've done and all the positive things and the challenges you've had as well in your career, to come from all the things you've done. Yeah. But you obviously, with your voice and your talent and everything, you have done exceptionally well. But as a motivation, a positive thing for them. Dougie Fresh too was another one in Chicago who supports alongside of me. I did that with Dougie Fresh. He couldn't turn up a lot of times, so I turned up instead. And but he is the main person who started that and sponsored that. And then I, of course, came along from Graceland and sponsored that as well.
She invited me. Like, I haven't been home in almost 7 years now, but I flew into Chicago for 3 days, because she does this thing every year where she feeds the young people for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I went over and and hung out with the young people with her. It's so cool. I mean, that's what music does. My song "Peace Is the Answer" is going in her film, and so we just keep this rolling. Hey. Chris, I want to ask you, man, what's next on your agenda?
Well, boy, what isn't?
Yeah,
it's a busy time. I'm working on a installation piece at the Anchorage Museum.
Okay.
And we've spent the last 3 years going between Panama and the Arctic, and doing a piece with a wonderful artist named Christina Seeley. And we recorded these tranquil environments, absolutely pristine, environments. And then from the distance, you would hear this rumble. And then, of course, this massive container ship would cut right across the view. Or we were in a place in Anchorage where you're looking out over this icy sea, and it's absolutely pristine. And we're sitting there for hours and hours and days doing this. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, a massive jet will just pass over. And the concept of the piece is called Disturbances. And it has to do allowing people to understand how we cut through nature like a knife. Here we are as a part of nature.
That's right.
That, and I'm also working on a piece about extant life, with the Academy of Sciences. So we're doing a kind of a very three-dimensional, it's a planetarium, digital dome kind of thing, where the audio is, again, enveloping you. And it's about the planet Enceladus, which is around Saturn, which is venting organic material out into space, and just informing people of what the search for life, on other planets, where exoplanets, and what's actually happening out there in the science world. So, and lastly, a wonderful program called Our Beautiful Planet, which is a television show made for younger adults. And I've been scoring it for the last year, and will continue. And there are little, very positive stories, again, about the environment, and kind of good news about a lot of efforts with seaweed and kelp forests and and how recovery efforts and things are doing, as well as informing young people about their job environment. So anyway, it's very, very positive, and enjoying it.
We are all, as human beings, we are music. So your heart keeps a beat. When you walk, it's according to how fast you walk, you keep tempo, right? And people might not know, even when you're talking, you're speaking notes.
Yes.
Right? If you clap your hand and put all those, you're playing music. So vocals was the first instrument, right?
It was.
And so everything kind of blossomed around that with different instruments. See, that what I love about Chris is, like, he'll play kids in our area that don't see instruments like he got on his piano, right? They don't see that every day. They're used to seeing the regular guitar, but he's playing all these, he sticks all that kind of music in with the beats.
Yeah.
And it's the coolest sound. That's why it's so global, right? I mean, I've learned a lot from him. He don't even know it. I love him so much because every time I go, his studio looks like a spaceship. It's like, it's amazing. And we've been knowing each other forever. And send love to the family for me, sharing all of yeah, brother. And but we have to come together on all fronts. And since we have the internet, there's no reason we can't, right? And so with musical change, I've been doing kind of like what Chris is doing, introducing people from different parts of the world to collaborate with each other, right?
Yes.
And I'll never forget when I had a radio show with Denise Newton, and I went to Portugal, and this guy goes, "Man, you about to be famous, Skyler." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Do you know America? The Europeans just want to be heard by Americans." And when I listen to it, every place I go, I start thinking about the West, right? What really pissed me off, though, was I can see as much, I can listen to as much music from America in Europe as I want, but it's not the other way around. And that's what I'm going to bridge, right? Because when I put bands on from Switzerland, when people listen to, hey man, who was that? They don't know that they from another country. No. Because they're playing them same notes from Bach to rock, right? It's just how you express yourself. That's how you leave your signature.
You certainly do. And it's also good to be different as well, isn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, you do phenomenal work. I'm so proud of you as well, Christopher, and lovely to actually meet you in everything that you do. You are a pure light worker, like myself, and like Skyler and Liz, and also Tony and Tom as well. And you do phenomenal work, and so does Liz, and so does Skyler. So we're just really excited, to really wake up this world. Let's rock the world of music for global change, and let's wake people up to write conscious music. I'm a conscious composer and singer, songwriter myself. And again, it's all about bringing this positive change, but spreading the love and spreading the peace, and realizing that we can light up this world and bring global change, which is exciting.
Well, today, all of us being here and talking about this, one day somebody's going to look back. How did it start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It started with these conversations like that, us talking together, right? And there hasn't been a new genre in years, right? You got rock, R&B, blues, all the genres, but there's no social conscious music genre, and that's what we're creating today.
Can I just say that Chris confirmed something to me? I'm looking at Chris's bio video that he did, where he was talking about Torino as well, but Chris was saying something about anything that makes a noise, or any airplane that goes by, or anything, has confirmed something I believed in from high school days. And I'm taking it back to late 60s. In high school, I was in a music room in a music class, and the teacher says, "What do you think music is?" "It's noise music." I said, "Yeah." So he opened the window, and that time an 18-wheeler was going by. He said, "Do you think that's music?" I said, "Yeah, you can turn that into music." And Chris has confirmed that in his video that I saw, that anything you hear can be music. So
Well,
there's no reason why.
also a sculptural thing. Sound is a snapshot of reality, and sometimes it's more visual than an actual snapshot. So when a person plays a piece of music, I can, and I'm sure most people can, hear their intention more than the notes that they're playing. You know what they're saying, even if they're just aggrandizing themselves. Even if they're just entertaining and they're just trying to pull the triggers of the audience. That's one way of doing music, and learning notes and being clever and being fast or being clean. Those are all valuable things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also possible that sound and music are true moments in time, true photographs. And so very much of the music that I'm interested in, as Skyler knows, I never let him do a second take. He's like, no, I can get this better. I can do this. And I'm like, no, you already said it. You actually said the thing. And you know, as you know, Skyler, it's to me, it's not about a kind of intellectual perfection. It is more about a spiritual perfection. You know, it's like you were here, you said this thing. So I would love to, I love to, in my field recordings, I love to record school children, choirs and things like that, because a real moment's happening when they're singing.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these things are never sound effects. These things are always moments or snapshots of reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's their content that's much more important than the character of their sound.
That's
it's
why
not
Chris has got
that.
that label. Chris has been the indie orchestra of our time. Is that right, Chris?
Yeah, there you are.
The indie orchestra. I think
yeah.
that's a new genre on its own, isn't it?
The orchestra?
The orchestra style of music.
Yeah, but it's just sort of a planetary orchestra. But that waterfall to me sometimes is just as precious as a choir, right?
That's right.
If you are really using it for that reason, like I say, it's easy to be clever and it's easy to do things for effect, but it's different when the content is honest, you know, where it has a real purpose.
Yeah, and those moments that you mentioned, people experience those in music every day. Like when you're walking down a high street and you suddenly see somebody playing the bells or guitar or something, or even something different like the bells and things like that, they will stop and look and they will smile, and then they will give some money they never knew they were going to give. So that creates a moment in their mind. Or a plane going over, like you said, Tony, a plane flying over, the sound of that, they stop and look and have a moment of peace with that. You know, like, whoa, they're going someplace, and they bring some memory of when you went somewhere. So you're right, the moments in time in music, and with the video we're producing and putting out, we're going to create that moment in time. So when people see it, they can see, and they can hear, and they can feel, and they can remember, and they can know what we're doing and for the future, and right now, and that is brilliant, isn't it?
It really is brilliant. And another thing is I plan to, with Music for Global Change, I plan to produce these after school jam sessions. Because, you know, from 3 to 6, your parents might not get home, right? So what if we had kids go to a place after school? I don't care if you just play some wood blocks but everybody comes there to jam. Right?
Yeah.
This takes them off the street. Yeah. And the four of us, we were here before computers. So we know how fun it is to be in a room with human beings, talented human beings, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the cool thing. When I was in elementary school, they used to send a band down from the Union, and all these guys, I'm looking, wow, what is that instrument? Whoa, I think I want to play that, right? But you gotta put them in front of it, because the way man is going right now, we're going, you know, outdo ourselves by having one instrument. Every instrument's in that one keyboard or whatever, right? Yeah. That's not the same, right? If you're playing the saxophone on that keyboard, it's never going to sound the same as a real saxophone and a talented person playing it, because their sound coming from what he's doing his fingering, there's sound from that. Right? Yeah. And then you got the microphone right there. There's some air in between that.
Yeah.
It's well, with the technology they have right now, they go and sample it, but it doesn't have the air. It doesn't have a real feel. And plus you see a lot of talented people on the stage. Somebody's going, wow, man. And each one of those people practice on their instruments before they got there, and that makes a sound. I did a demonstration one time of having 5 bands play the same song. And just because every human being has their own signature, even though they playing the same note, it still sounded different.
Yes.
Because everybody develops their own signature. And as for music, if you listen to a Stanley Clarke or Larry Graham, they might be playing the same bass, but because of their technique, it sounds different. And you can't see that if you're in a car, right? Oh, I know who that is, right?
That's right.
That's why when I produce vocals with young people, I don't want them to listen to the radio 2 months before I produce them, because I want to know what's coming out inside of you. What's coming out? And I don't want to have you studying somebody else. Oh, I'm ready to go. Well, who you sound like? I sound like Stevie Wonder. Sorry, we already got Stevie Wonder. Right?
Yeah, we already got one.
Exactly.
He's real good.
That very reason there, actual fact, that very reason there, Skyler, is when I came home to my father and our family and Graceland and my sister, of course, which I send love to my sister, Miss Marie. I love you, Lisa. And Mom, I love you. You know, when I came home, I never looked at anything that my father did at all. I stayed away from the radio, the TV, the internet. I never looked up anything. And the reason I didn't is I wanted to come home pure what I already knew. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and then I learned as I went along. So people say to me, do you know this about your dad? No. You know, but I do know all the inner things, you know, which was important. So rather than being influenced when I'm singing my songs and things, I never listen to his song before I sing a song. But sometimes I do afterwards to see how it sounds. But of course, I'm trying to also do my own music and move into that branding. But my main purpose, of course, is to help change the world with influence and stuff, you know, for people and things like we're doing right now. Because I get a great pleasure. You know, I wouldn't be able to sing if I was just singing for myself. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'll be like, no, that's boring. I have to be singing for somebody or something. Yeah. And that's what I love to do when I'm on stage or doing anything. And that's what gives me my power, you know, basically, is the changing people's lives, seeing those smiles and things like that. So that's all important, isn't it?
That's really great that you say that, because what it means is that what you're saying matters. That these notes matter. You don't play a series of notes. That's you know, that's not actually music. I don't think that. I remember one time on a trip, and I'm playing my little kalimba, and I'm walking down a very, very, very poor street, and here's a little girl sitting on the ground, as you've seen many times before, with an accordion and the little bowl. Well, her family has sent her out there to do that, to get whatever money that she can get. And I come up to her very blithe, and I start playing my kalimba to get her to play music with me. Yeah. No reaction. The lesson was for me. She was a slave, you know. Yeah. She was not playing music. There was not the joy just because she was using a musical instrument and playing notes. And that really taught me something. My wife has spent her days in the medical office with doctors and patients that she loves. And I would come home from making a little ditty, and she would have come home, and a favorite patient will have passed that day. So we have very, very different lives. And it started to strike me that there was something that I was doing that was helping her, but there was something that she was doing that was really helping me. Right. And I realized that I would start working in documentary film and start doing music that mattered. Like, you know, a line that Skyler sings in one of our records. He says, "You're a part of this world, like you're a part of your mother." And to me, it really strikes that this is not just, that it can be more than just entertainment, and that we can actually say something that's really important, even if we don't say it lyrically. If we only say it with our intention, we're presenting something that is beautiful, that is uplifting. But if it's true, and it's true in our minds as we're doing it, that one person on the other end of the spectrum will pick it up just as clearly as if it was sung to them, in person directly.
And also music is an energy, it's a vibration. And even within our physical bodies, we've got our chakra system, and they are actually musical notes from A to G as well. So, we are actually made up internally of music notes within the chakra system as well. So, conscious music is an awakening for this world, with the planetary changes that are taking place, with the 3D reality dissipating and the 5D reality of heaven on earth. This is where music makes a huge impact and participation in the healing of this world, but also the wake up of humanity, to come together and rise up at the end of the day. We can heal this world, we can bring positive change within this world, and also through the expression of music, as well as kindness, love, and peace is the answer, like I said earlier.
All the time. Yeah.
And one thing I say to you, Chris, I say to people sometimes that because when I sing, rock and roll creates a certain vibe, when you go somewhere, like when I was in Nashville, North Carolina, creates a big vibe. And so sometimes when people, you're joking with the audience and stuff like that, one of my favorite jokes is, I think it was Tommy Cooper, I can't look back now, I forgot, I think it was Tommy Cooper. When people say to me, and I say, I'm off on stage and I say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I like give them roses and things like that. And I'm saying, I say something like, I'm going to play your song now. I know the notes, but I don't necessarily know them in the right order. So just be patient.
Good.
I love that, Liz, at the end of the day, because you're being your true self, and you're just playing an instrument, and whatever comes out, that is an expression of oneself.
Yeah.
It's instant gratification, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing about, see, with computers, you have to put it in, you have to process it, put it in the computer, and read it back to yourself.
Yeah.
The great thing about the human sound is like it's emotion, and it's instantaneous and spontaneous. Like I always said, a blues player, right?
Yeah.
So he plays every night, but go stomp on his foot 5 minutes before he gets on stage. It's gonna sound different.
Right.
What the funny thing was, when I was doing the show at the Leonard Skinner band, they said they're going to, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. They said to me, 4 episodes, we're going to play with you. And I said, okay, what are you going to sing? I said, that's all right, Mum. And they said, how do you play that? I said, you're the Leonard Skinner band. Yeah. And they're like, hold on a second, just tell me a few notes. I said, okay. Yeah. I can't believe this. I said, let me tell you the notes then. I said, you don't like this, this is how it's going to go. It's only like 3 or 4 notes. I don't get my time to figure it out, but it's 3 or 4 notes anyway. And I said, just play those like that. And they said, okay, well, you follow. I said, I said, no. I said, you follow me, and whatever crazy things I do, you just keep on going. So at the end of the song, we just kept singing, that's all right, Mama. And I started making it even crazier. And I took the advice of my sister's ex-husband one time, bought the Gretsch guitar, which is a bad choice when you're singing that song on stage. I literally broke the guitar neck on stage, by playing that song so hard. Yeah. But I just said, you just keep following me, And we did a great job on that song. But it was kind of funny, really. That was with the Leonard Skinner band. And as we get on stage, I said, well, what's the notes? I said, you're the Leonard Skinner band. You should know that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But they did a fantastic. They did a fantastic job on that night too. So you get funny things like that. It's just before we went on stage. So that's like everybody was shaking up from that point. We're all on stage. They're waiting for me to do something, and I'm waiting. And as I'm doing it, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And then we finally got it right. And then halfway through, just about 2-3 seconds through the song, they kind of got it, and then we were just doing it. But the last part was just completely insane, made up stuff, and it just worked. We
Skyler and I have played with this great jazz artist, a guy named Chico Freeman, and his father Von Freeman, and this really comes from quite a legacy family, and really, really brilliant. And one time Chico called me up and he said, man, I want you to come to New York and come stay at my house in my studio for a few days, And it's like, I'm a pretty informal musician, like I play all these things, but I don't think I could play chopsticks if I had to. And here's a incredibly skilled master jazz musician. How am I? And I said, Chico, man, how am I going to play with you? what do you expect me to sit at the piano and play with you? I mean, come on. And he said, man, I know what you do. And so I got there to his house and we played we went from Friday afternoon till Sunday morning without sleeping, without doing anything. I mean, the first thing we did was hung a microphone out the window and let the fire trucks go by. And Chico just starts jamming to that, and I just start playing in some kids from Fiji, and pretty soon, we're making something that is a musical thing, but it is entirely built out of realities and not out of,
It's spontaneous. I love it. You know what I mean?
That's fantastic.
It's just awesome. I love that story though. It's just like, just stay with me. Just stay with me.
Just follow.
When it's spontaneous as well at the end of the day, isn't it? I mean, I'm back in the recording studios tomorrow recording my one of my conscious songs, and it's all about God's plan for the earth and the process of change, but it's called Freedom for Us All. And it's Wake Up World, and it's all about the positive changes that are taking place, but people just got to wake up. So I'm really excited because we're doing a music video for it afterwards as well. But also recording Be Kind, Be Kind, Be Kind, which is a songwriting contest in loving memory of John Lennon and his 50th anniversary of Imagine. So I've just submitted that, and we're actually going to be recording it in the studio tomorrow with my amazing composer friend who's also very spiritual. I mean, quite often when I write songs and he comes around and he'll say to me, Debs, how are you going to sing it? I said, I don't know. And then when I look at the words and these vocals come out, he says, wow, that sounds beautiful. And I went, really? And it just comes into place. And half of the time, because it's heaven sent and again, divinely orchestrated, but I do trust and have faith, like each and every one of you, and the amazing work that you all do as well. You are heaven sent and a true inspiration to this world, bringing this awakening for music for global change as well, which is really exciting. Unfortunately, we have run out of time now. I mean, I could speak to you guys for hours and hours and hours about the subject, but unfortunately we have actually run out of time now here in the studio. So I want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you. Keep shining bright, keep doing the amazing work that you do, and I hope to actually meet you in person, Liz, at some point, as well as you, Christopher, as well, and maybe I'll be on that stage singing with Skyler, doing a bit of jamming.
Yes.
Wow, I mean, that would be awesome.
We're going to meet Skyler on the 14th of next month.
We are actually going to
Looking
meet.
forward to that, Skyler.
I've already met Skyler, so I've been really blessed, haven't I, through Shelley and Kieran. But
we met in Belfast, right? Yeah.
Aren't we, to Brighton on the 14th, and we're going to have a photo shoot of all of us, aren't we, ready to push forward music for global change. So I just want to say thank you so much. Skyler, would you like to say something as well to the guests?
Bless you guys for coming on. I mean, this is so cool. I mean, it's a wide range of different things we talk about in music, but these are solutions we're talking about, how we can help people, And I call my old friend Chris from home. Thanks, Chris, man, for taking the time, brother. And I love you. I love you, man. And when you guys get out to California, you got to go. Chris lives like right on the ocean. It's like, it's so beautiful where he lives at. And Liz, let's keep our thing, the collaboration going. And we'll have to collaborate with Chris too.
Thank you. I thank you, Skyler, for everything, and I thank you, Chris, too, for everything we're all doing together. And I'm very proud of this. And Skyler's been working hard because he's already got me going to Chicago next month as well to change the world there as well. Right now with the global music change, so we're rocking and rolling, and things are happening and moving forward, aren't they, Skyler?
Yes, they are, and they are moving. And I just can't thank Deborah and Tony enough. I mean, like they said, Skyler, maybe you should have your own show, or maybe we should help you get music for global change off the ground.
I rang you up, Skyler, didn't I? I said, Skyler, it's time that we did your own show. So now we're going to change the format, and music for global change, we're going to rock this world with it. And next minute, we change this whole show format and form this TV show as well. So.
And if I could give one shout out to Deborah and Tony, and also to Anthony, and to thank you for all the support when Ali wasn't very well. You really made a major difference. So she was very ill, and I was really worried about her. And but now she's recovering really well, and it was really a major part for music. We delivered her lots of wonderful things, and Anthony delivered her lots of wonderful things for you, Deborah and Tony, and that really made a very, very big difference. And I thank you for all the love and support and care you've both shown me, and Thank you so much.
See, I've been praying for Ali, and I'm so glad that she's feeling better now. And I've been sending out absolute Reiki healing too.
Yeah, I was going to have her make an appearance, but she's disappeared. So, but she will one day on one of our shows. So
That's wonderful.
Sorry, Scott, you want to come in there?
I want to. We have to thank our crew.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Tom, Bryant,
Would you like to say
Anthony.
hi, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, he's camera shy. Come on, Tom. Tom does amazing work, and he's behind the actual screen, and he's about to come in front of the screen. And we are truly grateful to Tom, because Tom has been working really endlessly with myself and also Tony and with Skyler to really push this.
thank you, Tom.
Hey, Tom. Meet Tom, guys.
Nice to meet you.
As well.
Nice to meet you, funny Tom.
And Anthony and Eric Daniels
Yes.
for writing the theme track for our. Eric Daniels is Michael Jackson's cousin, and he's also he was and he's also the keyboard player for The Voice on NBC, and he wrote us a really cool track to open the show. And then, you know, just, we got to remember, I wrote Music Can Save the World with him as well. And that, I mean, it's so wonderful we can all get together, and let's keep this up. And if you,
and next year's next week, Skylar. But I also want to say a huge thank you to your beautiful wife, Cecily, because she done the jingle for us, didn't she, as well? Yeah. So thank you so much to Cecily as well, bless. And I can't wait to meet her one day as well. And maybe we'll do some. I don't know if is Cecily coming on the 14th?
No, she can't come there. But
oh, bless her.
But that's okay. That's okay. You're going to meet her. We'll all get together. And like I said, thank you guys so much for taking the time today.
So much. So we're truly blessed and truly grateful. So keep shining bright, doing the amazing work that you do, and we look forward to you coming back on the show as well.
Yeah.
Remember, music can save and heal the world.
That's right.
Let's rock this world with music for global change.
Save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity. I know. embrace love, embrace peace. Spread our love around the world. One love is unity.